So the Chiefs made a real move to fix a problem that's been staring Chiefs Kingdom in the face all preseason. There's an update on a popular UDFA receiver, and Patrick Mahomes still hasn't played a single preseason snap, which of course means the "what's wrong with him" crowd is already sharpening their pencils again.
Nerd alert!
So I combed through every report around the league today, so you don't have to. Here's everything you need to know. So let's start with Jeff Caldwell. He was waived with an injury designation after hyperextending his knee late in camp. And yesterday we found out he went unclaimed by all 31 other teams and reverted back to the Chiefs' injured reserve. That's actually the outcome Kansas City wanted here. From here, the Chiefs have three real options. They can just keep him on IR for the whole season, essentially a redshirt year. They can work out an injury settlement and let him leave for another team once he's healthy, or, and this is the most interesting one, they can settle with him and quietly bring him back once he's healthy, the same loophole trick they pulled with wide receiver Gary Dieter back in 2019. And if I'm the Chiefs here, I'm putting him on IR for this season and letting the rookie sit a year and learn the ropes. Understand and watch how the pros operate, how to get better every single day, how to train, how to run routes, still sit in those meetings and learn from vets and coaches like Chad O'Shea. There's too much potential here to just go with a buyout and let him move on. The Dieter loophole makes some sense too, but settling with him always opens the door for another team to come in and recruit him and promise him the world just to steal away all that potential. Now let's get into the real headline of the day. The Chiefs traded a 2028 7th-round pick to the New York Giants for offensive lineman Joshua Ezeudu. So here's what you're getting. Ezeudu is 27, 6'4", drafted in the 3rd round back in 2022 out of North Carolina. He's got 33 games and 10 starts in his career, all of that experience at left guard and left tackle. He missed all of 2025 on IR with a calf injury. This preseason with the Giants, though, he was working exclusively on the right side, right guard and right tackle, and through 45 pass blocking snaps, he didn't allow a single pressure. He's on a cheap one-year deal, about $1.1 million. Andy Reid was asked about Khalil Benson this week too. He's been bounced between right tackle and right guard all camp because of the Trey Smith injury. Reid said, "We've kind of moved this kid all over the place, and he did some good things there. He's got some things he's got to work on, obviously, but you can see the talent is there." And honestly, this trade gives me more questions than answers. Who is going to coach this kid up to become a valuable starter here? Because Hansen, Hunter Norzad, and plenty of others on this team have shown just as much or more potential at one point, but Andy Heck just can't get them there. So why bring in another unfinished product to mold when your guy can't mold anyone? Who is so poorly underperforming that you needed to bring him in for depth? Is it Pete Niger or Mike Caliendo? Reid has fought tooth and nail for Caliendo, and Niger was dominant in college at U of L and hasn't looked completely horrible in the preseason this year. Much better than CJ Hansen's ever looked. So is Reid just now admitting he's been wrong about Mike Caliendo this entire time? Is Khalil Benson not performing well enough at guard to be that serviceable swing piece they wanted? Is Ezeudu even going to play tackle or guard here? If it's tackle, again, is Benson just not doing enough for you at this stage to seriously consider him? Is it someone else like Driscoll or Pole that they're not happy with? Look, I understand raising the floor is never a bad thing for the trenches in this league. And that 7th-round pick, it's likely pick 250 or later, and it's not even going to be worth a flyer that you would take on a punter at that point. But still, draft capital is draft capital. And the Chiefs liked this kid enough, felt they needed him urgently enough that they wouldn't even let him hit waivers. That's concerning to me. This kid wasn't even good enough to make the Giants roster, the Giants, and you're bringing him in this late in the process and handing him a job. That's a scary state for your offensive line, and Andy Heck needs to be seriously considered for firing at this point because he is failing this team and failing Mahomes year in and year out with his lack of development skills. And look, if you're finding any value in today's video, do me a favor, click that like button so you can tell YouTube to keep showing you more all chiefed up videos. And smash that sub button too. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs. Now back to it. So let's shift to Patrick Mahomes for a bit, because as of right now, he has still not played a single preseason snap. Andy Reid made it clear again this week that they're taking this day by day. Here's Reid's exact quote.
Listen, he's doing great.
we'll just see. I'm literally taking it day by day. There are no predictions here on anything, but if the doctors and the trainers and everybody that are involved with this give him an okay, then and then most of all, if he feels like he can, then we'll address that when we get there. But other than that, these other guys are playing quarterback and doing a nice job with it.
Quote, he's doing great, literally taking it day by day. If trainers, doctors, and everybody give him the okay and he feels okay, we'll see. Mahomes himself has said he wants to play in the preseason finale against Seattle.
It hasn't been yet, I've obviously haven't played in the game and been able to get hit, but having people around me and competing and doing stuff like that, it's almost like I do everything I naturally do, and then after, it's kind of like the coaches come to me like, hey, let's calm down a little bit. It's just like being a competitor, I want to go out there and win. I want to go out there and give everything I have for the team, and so I haven't had any hesitancy kind of throughout the plays. It's kind of the coaches talking to me after and telling me, we're just practicing. It's not a real live game. And so other than that, we've been good.
But at Monday's practice, he was running the scout team, which usually means he's not going to play. And here's the thing, though, and this happens to Mahomes every single year, regardless of the actual situation. The second there's any uncertainty with him, any pause, any we'll see, the outside noise machine turns it into a referendum on Patrick Mahomes. I actually pulled a clip of Pat Mahomes Sr. talking about exactly this phenomenon on the 65 Toss Power Trap show recently. He said it plainly. He's too nice. He answers everything correctly. He always says the right thing. There's not enough bad boy in him.
The reason I'm bringing all this up is I want to ask you, just from your perspective, both as his father and someone who watches this sport so closely, what is it, do you think, that makes this the narrative where we are sitting here every day watching these talk shows and these guys are saying that he's no longer the greatest or this guy is surpassed and these guys are better, even though he's the one that's done the things these guys are still trying to even do at all? What is it, in your opinion, that makes this the narrative out there right now in the national landscape?
He's too nice. He's too nice. He answers everything correctly. He always, says the right thing. So, he's too nice. So there's not enough bad boy in him. So, they have to do something to try to get him riled up so he'll say something that's out of the norm. But I mean, if truth be told, any of those people that are saying the things that they say, if you ask any one of them if they got to have one game to win and they got to pick one quarterback, I guarantee you number 15 will be the one that they pick because, he showed that he can come back. When he's down, he showed you, he can win it the easy way. He showed you can win it different ways. So, I've never really gotten into it, but by far to me, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And hopefully, he's healthy so he can show off those wares again and go out and perform and do what he's always doing, that's try to win ball games.
So they have to try to get him all riled up. And then he said something worth repeating. If any of these national guys had one game to win and had to pick one quarterback, Patrick Mahomes Sr. is convinced they'd all pick his son, number 15. So Pat Sr. is right about this. They want a drama machine to keep the views and clicks coming because winners get boring after a while. Hell, Tom Brady never got this kind of treatment, though, this same way, because he had the entire Northeast media machine behind him. Mahomes sits in the Midwest, a small market with no big hitters in his corner. They'll still push big guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, again, bigger markets to manufacture the debates that drive revenue off bad takes, the Northeast. But when it actually comes down to football, you're always going to pick Mahomes because he's done 3 times what none of these other guys have done even once. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's episode. Today, we're going to take Emmett Johnson 27.5 rushing yards. We're going more. We're also going to go 21.5 receiving yards more with Cyrus Allen. Plus, we know the Chiefs like to kick field goals. We're going to take Harrison Butker 1.5 field goals made more on that one as well. And then last week, we seen Andy Reid Jr. and Harrison Mevis. We're going to take more than 1.5 field goals. If you want to follow along with our picks throughout the season, download Prize Picks. The link is in the description. Use code HMA as always. Now back to the show. So we got one more injury note to get through. Kenneth Walker was added to the injury report on Tuesday with a foot issue, and he didn't practice. Reports are calling it a new injury since he was full go on Monday, just a day after the loss to Tampa Bay. Now, I don't think there's much to be concerned with here at all. This is a veteran getting some practice time off late in the dog days of the preseason, and he doesn't need to be playing in these preseason games that are meaningless anyway. The Chiefs close out the preseason against his old team in Seattle this Friday, and there's genuinely nothing to gain by risking him in a game that means absolutely nothing, even if this is an actual foot injury. And it probably isn't, but if it is, there's still a lot of time before now in the Monday Night Football opener versus the Broncos. So that's today. The Chiefs quietly fixing a real problem up front, a receiver's path forward becoming clearer, and the same tired Mahomes narrative rearing its head again right on schedule. Do you think the Chiefs trade for Ezeudu is worth the paper it was written on? Is he actually going to upgrade anything? Or is he just another guy Andy Heck probably can't develop? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to get caught up on the Nussmeier versus Fields QB2 debate, be sure to watch this next.